What's up, y'all? It's Tao Trades back from a 2 month hiatus or whatever. This video is basically just gonna be an update of where I've been, what I've been doing, and yeah, just kind of a refresher of why I haven't posted on socials and basically just what I've been up to these past few months. Not that you guys needed me to post or even wanted me to post, but I did say I wanted to document my journey, and I didn't for the last 2 months, which I'm fine with. But yeah, so my last video, I think, yeah, it was 2 months ago, and I kind of just after that video, I had like a crisis of my priorities and what I wanted to do with trading and not my life, but where I was headed basically in my trading journey and what I prioritized throughout this journey. And I kind of just took a break. I deleted all my social medias besides YouTube because I watched podcasts and trading videos on there sometimes when I was at work. But Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, I never used any of those anyways. But the only social media I had was Instagram at the time, and Discord for my Discord trading group that I'm in. So yeah, trading hasn't been that good, to be honest. You want to be honest. I think I talked about my payout and everything that I went through in May, I believe. Got my first payout in June, but since then, it hasn't been trading hasn't been that good, to be honest. My mental hasn't been that good. Um, my discipline hasn't been that good, and I kind of want to get into the reason why I think that's been the case. And I think it's because I diverted away from my basically my plan that I had set for myself when I first started tracking all this and documenting my journey in trading. I kind of veered away from that basically in June, like after I got my first payout. And what I diverted from was working out, and the eating has been fine, but mainly just a strict workout plan and my trading rules and discipline. I kind of just been all over the place. I stopped going to the gym, and not because I didn't want to go to the gym, but my whole purpose of going to the gym was losing weight, predominantly in my abdomen area, and I'm still below the same weight, and I think that's mainly because of eating, and I'm also playing basketball a lot more, but I'm not in the gym as much as I would like to be. And I kind of stopped that because I was kind of okay with the way my body looked arm wise, because I was really training mostly. I was training all parts of my body, back, biceps, arms, shoulders, all that stuff, but that was never an area where I lacked in personally. I never wanted to look like a bodybuilder, but I know people say you can't look like a bodybuilder on accident, but I know I was never going to do that anyways. But yeah, I stopped doing that because I was like, I don't need to gain any mass on my arms. I kind of just wanted to get ripped, and cardio can do that. But that was really an excuse because I didn't replace the gym time with straight cardio. I did my cardio with my gym time when I was lifting weights and whatnot. So I stopped all that. The 4:30 a.m. thing, I stopped doing that entirely for the past like month and a half. But I have been like playing a lot of basketball, so that the cardio still been there, which is why I probably stayed at the same weight. I didn't really gain any crazy weight since the last video, since I stopped going to the gym, because I have been active, but I haven't been in a strict routine. It's kind of like, and I always go after work, so it's easy for me to be like, oh, I don't feel like going, because I just didn't feel like going. There was no real reason, but I just stopped going. So, and with trading, I kind of just veered away from all aspects of my plan. I've written out my stuff and I've gotten a little better, but not really, to be honest. With following my trading plan and discipline, I'll tell myself I'll do something in the morning and I'll do the opposite 3 hours later, while I'm trading. And I think that just comes from being disciplined, like I said in other videos, in all aspects of life. And I haven't been that, and my trading was the best when I was doing that. The month of May was my best month ever, and I think it was April was my best month ever, and then May and June worst months ever. So I followed my best month, getting a payout, getting a eval challenge. I followed that month. The next 2 months, my worst 2 months. So the last 2 months of my trading that I've been gone have been the worst since I put money into it, which has been a little over a year, about a year and 3 months. And I think it's just because I'm not disciplined in all other aspects of my life like I was. Like I'm not taking the protein powder. I'm not cooking in the morning before after the gym because I'm not going to the gym. So I'm just getting up and just hopping on the charts. I'm getting up at different times every day now. Instead of getting on the charts at 6:30, 6:45, like I would if I was going to the gym 3, 4 days a week. I'm now getting up at 7 and not getting on the charts till 7:20, or sometimes I'm getting up at 7:15, getting on the charts at 7:30, and I'm only getting an hour on the charts, hour and a half, because I got to be at work at 9:30, around market open. So that's kind of how everything's been going on. But yeah, with the trading, I think it's just with me not following my plan. I'm also, ever since that payout, I kind of just stopped. Like I had a different view on the money aspect. Like I got real attached to the price point, as far as green. So I've been seeing a lot of red, and if I see green, just this feeling of being unsatisfied with the amount. Like when I look at my old P&L from my best month in April, I had a lot of days where it was kind of mixed. I only lost 2 days, but I had some days I was making 200, 185, some 500 days. I think I had $1,000 day in there. I had some 800, some 500, some 600s, but I was closing the day, with different amount of profits instead of if I see 250 and the trade start going against me and I'm up profit and it's giving me signs, the trade and the market's giving me signs that it may reverse or this trade's about to go against me, and I've seen this many times. I know some people say stop loss or TP, but if the market's telling me what it's telling me, I can get out with that 200 if I was at 250 and it's retracing and it goes to 200, take the 200. And I was doing that in April, and in May and June I wasn't doing that. There was a lot of my trades that have been red days, and I've had a lot of red days these past few months. A lot of those trades were green, and enough green that I could have taken profit and been, I should have been satisfied with those trades and profits after closing the trade, and I just wasn't. And some of those days was I closed a trade in the green, and I think I see another setup, and it might have been a setup, but I take it and it loses. But I should have just walked away like I was in April. 1 to 2 trades a day. There's a lot of times I've hit max daily loss, bought 2 to 3 accounts in one day, which isn't the best thing. Saying it out loud, spending $150 in a day on challenges, $100 in a day, and burning through 3 challenges in a span of 2 hours because I don't have any discipline. So, yeah, the deleting all social medias and taking a break was, I thought I was spending too much time on Instagram, just doom scrolling and not being productive. But when I did that, I didn't replace that time that I thought I was spending on Instagram with anything else productive. Like I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't creating nothing. I wasn't creating content. I was reading, but I wasn't doing any extra reading. I was reading at the same times every day. And, it was kind of like an excuse. And I think I did that being on social media, people, and making it feel like people like kind of influencing me or allowing them to influence me to make it seem like being on Instagram is a bad thing. Like some of the richest people I follow, I say, yeah, they get on Instagram and they scroll every now and then and just do the teenage stuff, and they're multi-millionaires. So I kind of made it seem like that was a big part of my life when it wasn't, because I have Instagram now, and kind of looking back on it, I don't spend that much time on Instagram. I'm working from 9:30 to 5 o'clock, and then when I get home, I'm either going to the gym for 2 hours and I'm getting home at 7:30, and I gotta cook or shower and hang with my girl. So I'm not spending too much time on my phone as it is, and that was basically my day for the past 2 months. So I really didn't accomplish anything in those 2 months as far as telling myself I needed to be more productive with the time I thought I was spending on social media, because in reality, I wasn't spending that much time on social media. Um, I was just, I really just was unsatisfied with the way I was trading, and I was trying to find ways outside of the markets and outside of myself as an excuse as to why, I wasn't trading good. And it was just that I wasn't being disciplined. And I thought me deleting it, social media was me going to get disciplined, when I just needed to get disciplined outside of the markets and outside of my phone, which was eating right and working out, because I was happy. I'm happy now, but I wasn't like I enjoyed waking up early, going to the gym. I enjoyed that feeling of coming home and already knowing when I go to work, I got more done, in 3 hours than people get done in a full day, as far as working out, working on my craft, and my future and stuff like that. And I stopped doing that, so that's what I'm gonna get back into, and I'm gonna get back to documenting these journeys. My journey, as far as going to the gym, eating right, creating content. I'm working on a Discord, but I won't be making that public at all until I'm profitable. However long that takes, it could be next few months, it could be next year. It's ready, and I'll be working on it, but I won't be promoting it, unless, because that's just what I want to do until even if I'm not fully profitable, and I'm still working, I'm disciplined, and people can come and learn from me, because I'm living what I'm preaching. I don't want to I want to have people in a Discord or in a group or following me and asking me questions if I'm living two different lives, on the charts, or on the charts and then on Instagram. So that's kind of how I'm feeling right now and how everything's going. I'm excited to share more of my journey and continue to develop and get better on the markets and outside of the markets. But yeah, trading isn't. It's the long game, and that's what I have to come to grips with and just understand for the rest of my career, is that some days you lose, some days you win. One win shouldn't determine your week's P&L, and that was the case in a lot of these trades. Like, I think after April, I made like $7,000 that month. I think the next half of that, I think I lost half of that. Um, and I think a week and a half the next month. Not like literally, but I just track my trades, because it's not real money until you get funded. So I'm just tracking the trades I lost and won on a prop accounts and stuff like that. Um, yeah, but I lost probably half of that, $7,000, a little more than that, in like a week. And that's just poor risk management, poor trading discipline overall. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on with me. I want to start live trading videos, and I think that'll help me really, because I have a trading plan and a strategy, and parameters that I follow and want to see for trades that I take, and what graded setups look like, and A setups, B setups, C setups. I have that for myself, that I believe are those type of setups, and how much risk I want to put on a setup, if this is an A setup or a B setup. I have that written down, and I look at it and I put it in front of me every day. I've been doing that for the past probably week, and even if I lose, I've been taking those setups to a T, whether it loses or wins. I haven't taken any sits. I wrote that. I did that last week, I think around Wednesday. It's Sunday, not Saturday now. I haven't taken any trades outside of those parameters, but some of them, even within those parameters, have lost. But I still felt good, because it was a part of my trading plan. So, yeah, I'm going to be getting back to it, man, and hold myself accountable. But yeah, I want to get to those live trading videos, and I'll be posting those whenever I can. So I'm excited for next week, and just wanted to hop on here and give y'all an update. If you liked the video, give me a like, subscribe, it help the channel out, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.